Hello, my Workday Playdate peeps. I just took a sip of coffee, a little iced coffee, get the day going. I've got Big Deal, my 8-pound toy poodle, sitting here next to me. He's 13 years old, and he's blind, and he's snoring. So if you hear anything in the background, just know that's not me heavy panting. He is here with us today. And wherever you are in the world, I hope that you are ready for an awesome show and to give to yourself because you deserve it. So if I don't know you yet, my name is Erin. I'm your work bestie. And this is Workday Playdate, where we make work suck less, one improv game at a time. So we are Workday Playdate by Improve It. I'm the founder of Improve It. We use improv comedy to train professionals on soft skills. We like to say we are improv-infused talent development for the new generation of work. And this month, we are highlighting one of the skills that we teach on, networking. Hold on. Don't you hit pause. Come back to me. I don't want you to clutch your sweaty palms and stare at the floor like you just got called on in gym class, okay? You don't have to do tug of war. Networking does not have to feel like handing out business cards like Halloween candy or giving that robotic elevator pitch we all secretly hate. Today, I'm going to give you my brand new networking rules. It's simple, it's sticky, and best part, it's stress-free. It's a 3-step rule, my peeps, okay? And we're going to make it feel like play. Of course, this isn't Workday Playdate for nothing. I want you to think less stuffy LinkedIn mixer and more improv jam session at happy hour. So I want you to grab your mental name tag that says, hello, my name is awesome. And my friend, because by the end of this episode, you're going to actually look forward to meeting new people. It's crazy, I know. So let's just say this for free. Most people hate networking. And if you're listening to the show and you love it, I am so excited that you're here because you can help spread the gospel of this 3-step rule. But if you hate it, like most people, you're not alone. A LinkedIn study found that 70% of us dread networking because it feels forced or fake. And yet, here's the kicker. 85% of jobs, promotions, and new opportunities come from, you guessed it, networking. Let me say this. Every job I had before becoming an entrepreneur was given to me because I knew somebody in that organization and I knew someone who knew someone. It was not because I sent my resume into an Indeed job posting and waited and heard crickets. It was literally because I knew somebody who knew somebody. Every single job I ever got was because of networking. Every client that I ever got in the very beginning stages of this business was through networking. So we can't just hide behind our screens forever, my friends. So the problem is that most of us, and I love y'all, but most of us are doing it wrong. We show up trying to sound impressive instead of being curious. We forget people's names. Have you ever been in a conversation with somebody and literally they just told you their name 3 seconds ago and you are thinking in your mind, oh my gosh, what is it? And then you have to awkwardly stare down at their name tag, or worse, they're not wearing a name tag and you just really hope somebody else comes up that they can introduce themselves to them and say their name again so you can remember it. Has that ever happened to you? Nope, just me. Great. Okay. So all that to say, we feel like we're auditioning for Shark Tank instead of actually connecting like real humans. Let me ask you this, though. What if you treated networking like an improv scene instead of a job interview? Improv has one simple goal: make the other person look good. Make the other person look good. That is it. And if you do it, you look good by default. Let me tell you what I mean by that. So most people, when they hear about improv comedy, think that your job is to be the funniest person on that stage. That's actually incorrect. I will say that I was voted class clown in my high school. And when I started improv, nobody likes a bragger, but that's a fun fact. Okay. Nobody likes a bragger, but true fact, it didn't work for me when I started doing improv because when I got on stage, instead of reacting to the last thing that somebody said and what we do in improv called yes-anding it, I was trying to get the biggest laugh. And in doing so, I was stifling the scene. I was taking control. And that's not what makes a scene look good. What makes a scene look good is me identifying with somebody else's idea, not necessarily agreeing with it, but adding to it and not negating them. And being curious, making that scene partner shine. You do that on an improv stage, you do that in a networking scenario, everybody wins. So that is what we are going to do here today, my peeps, with my new simple, sticky, and stress-free rule. It's a 3-step rule. So I want you to get out your pen and paper, the notes section of your phone, or if you're driving and can't use your hands, then you can just look at the notes section because we want you to have this. It's 3 steps. You can even do this today and practice with your local barista while picking up your cup of joe. All right. So here's step number 1. I love this step so much. It is called the yes and handshake. Okay. This is improv 101, y'all. When you meet somebody new, I want you to mentally say yes to whatever it is that they've said, then add an and. Instead of saying, oh, so what do you do? Which sounds like a lot like a LinkedIn question robot that you get from somebody's robot LinkedIn messaging you. I want you to try, oh, are you in marketing? And then yes, and what's the most fun campaign you've ever worked on? So yes, and is one of the biggest rules, if not the biggest rule of improv comedy. It means, yes, I hear your idea. And instead of squashing it or negating it, I'm going to add to it. So even if I don't agree, I'm not diminishing what you've added to the scene or to our conversation. I'm acknowledging it and I'm saying thank you by adding the and. So you bring a brick, I bring a brick, you bring a brick, I bring a brick, and together we've built this house of beautiful ideas and conversation together versus me just laying all the bricks. You feel me? You feel me. So the and invites a story. Stories invite connection. Connection equals a memorable you. If you ever heard that saying, people don't remember what you say, they remember how you make them feel. That's what I'm talking about, peeps. If you can make somebody feel like they have a sign around their neck that says, make me feel important, that person will want to be in your presence. They will trust you. They will want to hang out with you. They will want to work with you. So if you can remember that stories and inviting that and improve connection, and that connection makes people feel, and feeling makes you memorable, you have won the networking game. And here's a pro tip. If you're feeling bold, you can throw in a playful question. Like, yes, and if you weren't doing this job, what would you be doing? Like your dream job. Go. People love this question. People love talking about themselves. When you are curious and genuinely curious, people remember that. If you've ever had somebody who you met maybe once or twice remember your pet or your kid's name, that sticks with you. You're like, man, Susan was listening to me. When you get people talking about things that make them excited, they're experiencing a different type of energy, and that energy is a feeling. And again, this yes and handshake is really all about getting curious and adding to their conversation, making them look good. You dig? You dig. So that's the first part of this 3-step rule. Step 2, the name game echo. You will never, ever forget somebody's name ever again if you do this. Like I said, people remember when you remember things about them. People remember how it makes them feel. So here's the trick. You're going to repeat their name the very first time you meet them in the very first 2 minutes 3 times. and you're going to do it naturally. So in the first 2 minutes of your conversation, you are going to repeat their name 3 times. So you could say, "Nice to meet you, Carlos." "So, Carlos, what brought you here?" "That's awesome, Carlos. I love that story." So you're saying it naturally when you're responding to something they've said, but you're just incorporating their name. 3 times is a pattern. Generally, things come in threes. The more you say their name out loud, the more you will remember it. Sometimes I will say this when people have harder names to remember. I think it's okay for you to ask again. People would rather you ask again than try to remember and forget. But if you use this trick and you can say their name 3 times in the first 2 minutes, and then you have their name ingrained in you and you can remember more information, people again will remember how you make them feel. All right. This is step 3. I love this because the name makes me giggle. It's called the give and giggle close. The give and giggle close. So you're never going to leave a conversation without giving something, a resource, a compliment, or just making them laugh. All right. Laughter is something that is a gift. Let me say that. We don't laugh a lot. We need more laughter in this world. So here's an example. You mentioned you love podcasts. Oh, I've got a great one for you. It's called Workday Playdate. But seriously, you'll love it. So yes, that's giving them something that I have, but it's something that I've created and worked really hard to create to give a resource to. You may have something completely different. You could say something like, "Oh, you mentioned you love shows. I'm going to send you the name of this show that I've been watching that I love and you like to laugh. So you're going to love the show. It's called Hacks. And if you haven't watched Hacks on HBO Max, oh my gosh, you're welcome. It's Emmy Award winning. It's so funny." It could even be like you saying you're going to introduce them to somebody in your life or in their life that could help them. Or it could be a free resource that you've created that you want to give to them. A lot of people come to Charleston, South Carolina, because it's a very big destination spot. And when I talk to people, especially who don't live here, and they're very interested in it and want to come or might have a trip planned, I have something called the Big Deals of Charleston. That's literally because people ask me for this all the time. I've created that gives them my favorite restaurants and spots in every different island around Charleston because it's a city made up of different islands. So that's a free resource I could give somebody. Think of something that people ask for or genuinely get excited that you could create and send to them as a follow-up. I have a friend of mine too who really loves a book called The War of Art. And anytime he meets somebody new, he sends them this book. And literally in the mail, like takes his time to put his hands on the paper and write with a pen and puts this package in the mail for them. And I'll tell you, it's very cool because you receive mail, number one. Number two, they've mentioned it in our talk and remembered to follow up after. And 3, it makes me trust them because they've said they're going to do something, they do it, and they've taken the time to go out of their way to make me feel good. So the give and giggle close. Now remember, people will people will forget your job title, but they will remember, again, how you make them feel. And humor is your secret weapon here. Leave them smiling and they'll look for you at the next event. I will tell you, I love laughter. Clearly, I created a life and a lifestyle around it. When people genuinely make me laugh, I'll never forget this. My birthday this year, I was in LA. We had a workshop out there, and I have about 5 members of my team who live in LA. And we all went to dinner. And when you are around improvisers or people who do comedy for a living, we naturally yes and each other because we're never going to negate each other. We're always trying to build to create more and more and more momentum and laughter and jokes. It was the best dinner. It was the best birthday. I was away from my family, but I haven't laughed that hard in so long. My cheeks hurt. My smile was like from ear to ear. And when I think back on my birthday, even though I wasn't with my family, I was with my Improve It family. And it was getting choked up. It was amazing. I remember that feeling more than I remember anything that we said. And when I look at those pictures, it makes me smile from ear to ear because that's how we ended the night, just giggling and giggling and giggling. So speaking of making people feel amazing, I want to take a quick break to tell you about something that will take these tips from cool idea on this podcast to holy moly, I'm a networking rock star. It's our networking workshop. And let me just tell you, it is not your typical professional development training. So at Improve It, this is one of our main workshops. We do this all over the world. Picture this, a room full of professionals laughing, moving, and actually practicing how to be magnetic in conversations. In this workshop, our seasoned improv facilitators will guide you through activities that teach you how to be fully present, so there's no room for shaky nerves. Refine your personal brand and create a fun elevator pitch that doesn't sound like a robot wrote it. And then build real connections by listening deeply and building on other people's ideas. Now, we can bring this workshop to your team in person for up to 100 people or virtually for 50 people. That's 50, not 50, 50 people. And I promise you, you'll leave this session feeling like networking is a game, not a chore. So if this sounds fun, you can check us out at learntoimproveit.com. That's learntoimproveit.com to learn more and request more information. We would love to bring this live session to you in some way, shape, or form. So let's wrap this up, my peeps. Your new simple, sticky, and stress-free networking rule is 3 parts. Number 1, you're going to yes and handshake them. So you're going to be curious, add to their story. Number 2, play the name game echo. You're going to say their name 3 times. Game show host voice optional. And then number 3, you're going to give and giggle close. So you're going to leave them with value, laughter, or both. Now, here is your homework this week. I call this the Networking Play Challenge. You're going to use the yes and handshake with one new person. You're going to try the name game echo twice this week. And you're going to give at least one genuine compliment or funny story as your give and giggle close. All right. I really want you to put this to practice. Like I said earlier, you could even try this on a barista while you're picking up your coffee. You could try this as you're picking up your child from school and on the person who's there at checkout. Like, it's just a fun way to meet people, and people love energy. They remember again how you make them feel, and all 3 parts of this rule are going to leave a lasting impression. So after you do them, I want you to DM me. You can DM me on Instagram at It's Erin Deal, or I'm on Erin Deal on LinkedIn, and you'll see I'm the only Erin Deal with the Workday Playdate background. So I want to hear the good, the bad, and especially the awkward. Those are my favorite. I want to hear how you put this into practice. So my peeps, until then, I want you to keep playing. I want you to think how you can make your day more playful today and continue to yes and your life every single day. I'm so proud of you for showing up, giving to yourself. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Erin Deal, and I'll see you next week.